post on Facebook that you're a Saints fan before you go in and officiate a New Orleans game. That's just beyond ridiculous. I mean, Cameron, you pointed on it earlier. It's just the integrity of these officials is certainly something to improve on, and I just hope, this NFL, I just hope that none of these teams suffer or none of these organizations take a hit because these referees are being plugged in because the NFL is just too stubborn to give these guys some sort of a labor dispute. Right now it's just ridiculous. Hopefully the NFL gets things fixed.
All right. Thank you very much, Nick.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me on.
All right, that's Nick Rice. You can catch him with NFL Goal Line with Nick and Phil. I actually like their page on Facebook. Very good NFL insight. They really break it down. Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Stay tuned. You got to listen to their show. You really want to go deep in the NFL, you really want to enrich your knowledge about the game, you listen to those two guys. They really care about the game. Please stay tuned. We got a lot to talk about here on the Cameron Sadeghi Show. We're going to talk about something that really made this game very special. But this man has done a lot. We'll talk about him, and sadly he passed away today. It's extremely unfortunate. But don't worry, I'll talk about how great this man was in a moment. But please listen to the show. Keep listening. And we're going to take a quick break on the Cameron Sadeghi Show on National Sports On Air. The call-in number, 949-456-2911. Welcome back to the Cameron Sadeghi Show on National Sports On Air. NFL. That's all we're discussing on the Cameron Sadeghi Show today. I want to talk about a man who I have the utmost respect for. He changed the way the presentation of the NFL is. He's one of the reasons why the NFL is what it is today. No, he was not a football star. No, he was not a head coach. He was a media member, a filmmaker, a writer, the true storyteller of the NFL game. Steve Sabol passed away at the age of 69 today with brain cancer. Unbelievable. It's mind-boggling how this guy changed the way this game is today. To me, NFL films change the way we see the NFL. The NFL is the #1 TV sport. Whether you like it or not, that's reality. And Steve Sabol is the source of that. He made the game dramatic. He made the game deep. You didn't just see the X's and O's. You went into the personalities of a football player. The humor, the fun, the emotion, the heartbreak. He went through that. He covered the game inside and out. Miking up players behind the scenes to make NFL players more real and more realistic than ever before. And it's an honor. It's an honor that we had this man work at that position. It is an honor. And as someone who watched the work that he did and the way he conducted himself as a true consummate professional, and as someone who really just absolutely class act. I love the way this guy discussed the NFL. Love the way this guy explained the game. Talked about the game. That passion for the game as a media member it defined the NFL. And this guy, to me, I wish, he would be here still today at the age of 69. It's unfortunate that he had to go through 18 months of cancer. And, alright, you know what? I think it would be fair and it would serve justice here if I were to give a moment of silence for Steve Sabol. So let's take a minute to remember, and all the condolences out to his family and the people around him. So a moment of silence. Okay, we will be back after this break, and Steve Sabol, it is so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate. I loved, to me, NFL Films is the reason why the NFL is what it is today. Television, and the media really changed the game of the NFL. I've never seen a sport ever in my ever that was defined and changed the way it has, the way the NFL did, the media and the NFL connection. People starve for the NFL, and Steve Sabol, he is the reason for great media, NFL wise. All respect to him. All respect to him. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to discuss Giants Buccaneers controversy. I'll explain that. And another bad thing happened. Michael Turner, really? DUI after Monday Night Football? I'll explain all that in 30 seconds. Yes, sir. Cameron Sadeghi Show, listening live on air on National Sports on Air. We have two things to discuss before we go to break that really caught my attention. Let's first start with the controversy. The thing that many talked about Monday morning. ESPN New York.com has the story where the Giants and the Buccaneers. Giants won 41-34. And Eli Manning, simple little kneel down, right? Last second of the game. The Buccaneers, on the other hand, try to blitz and try to tackle Eli Manning before he comes down to the ground and try to get a fumble. They were trying to... Eli Manning called it a cheap shot a little bit. According to ESPNNewYork.com's Young Missick, let me give my thoughts on this. Justin Tuck talked about this, and those of you who didn't see it, basically Manning was kneeling down at the last second, and the Buccaneers are down by 7. They want to cause a fumble. They want to get a turnover and score. I mean, obviously, they want to do that, but usually when teams kneel down, they'll let it go, and they won't even rush to the line. They'll kind of, handshake it out and hug it out, and game over. To me, though, and Tom Coughlin yelled some really inappropriate things to Greg Schiano, calling it, it was terrible, Terrible what he said. Cussing him out like crazy. And to me, I look at this and I say, you play to win the game, right? You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win. You don't just play it. You play to win. Herm Edwards said that, and Herm, you're right. Because when there's 3 seconds left, I think what people are misinterpreting you gotta be in the shoes of both sides. Both sides. Look at Coughlin. You're gonna win the game, right? So if they're gonna blitz, who cares? You know it's coming. So just kneel down, get it over with. No need to cuss. No need to, to yell your lungs out at the new Meadowlands. No reason. You look at Schiano's case, I play for 60 minutes. I don't play for 59 minutes and 58 seconds. I play for 60 whole minutes. That's what Schiano was thinking. And you know what? Great mindset. I would have done the exact same thing as Schiano did. Whether it's a basketball game or the NFL, if I'm losing in a basketball game by 2 points and there's 0.2 seconds left and the other team has a ball, I'm going for the steal. I'm telling my team to go for the steal. Same thing with the NFL. There's 2 seconds left, they're up by 7, and they're going to kneel down. I'm blitzing, I'm putting everyone in the box, and I'm going to hit them hard. I'm going to hit them hard because I want that fumble. I want that fumble, and I want to return it to the end zone. You fight for every yard. And if Coughlin, getting a little ticky-tacky, wants to do things the right way, I'm sorry. I know it's not politically correct what Schiano did, but it was the right thing to do. And the Giants played well in that game. Bucs are a young team trying to implement a tough mindset throughout this whole entire franchise, and I think Schiano sent a huge message saying that we don't back down from anything, and that's very important for such a young organization like this, an organization that's trying to develop into a big-time contender. And I've got to give a lot of kudos to Schiano. You're a first-year head coach. You come in there with the guts to go do that against Coughlin, who's been in the NFL forever, and you decide to go win the game. You don't care what anyone says. You just want to go win that football game, and I would have done the same thing. Coughlin overreacted to that, and I'm sorry. I'd do that any time of the week. Any time of the week. Count me on it. Count me on that. Okay, I would certainly do that any day of the week. But there's something else I wouldn't do during the week. Certainly not during the week. Certainly not during the weekend. Certainly never in my life. Michael Turner was arrested for a DUI following a Falcons Monday Night Football victory. Fans take according to Hops and Lopes Yahoo Contributor Network. He had his thoughts on this. So let me read this really quickly. The 30-year-old rusher was pulled over after police say they saw him going 97 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. Turner was driving his Audi R8 sports car at the time of the incident, and upon questioning by police at the scene and a subsequent failed drug test, he was taken to Gwinnett County Jail and booked just after 5 a.m. Eastern. So, to me, it surprises me how players never, and I know this is kind of a little ticky-tacky on my part for saying this, but why don't you take a taxi? If you're going to be under the influence, shouldn't you have at least